Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Children Act. And on a quick side note, I saw this at the Hopewell Theater, which is this really cool venue where it has like tables and you can order food, and they show actual live performances of like comedy and music, and then films, and really cool place. Go check it out if you're in the area. And I got to go see The Children Act there, and this is a film about a judge whose rocky marriage is causing her issues, and she's burying herself in her work and dealing with this one particular case of a young man who's Jehovah's Witness. Yes. Now I forget. Whoops. But so, and he does it, his religion doesn't believe in blood transfusions, and it's like, does the hospital make this judgment call over this young man and his family? And boy, is Emma Thompson rocking this movie, and she's a towering performance. Basically, this film is really centered upon her performance and her character, Fiona, who's this judge. And this is directed by Richard Eyre. And in terms of the directing, there was, like, the one thing about this film that I don't find super intriguing is, like, especially the direction and the cinematography, as like, for the most part, there's not a whole lot really special with the visuals of this film. The Andrew Dunn, who's also the DP, everything's really brightly lit, and not, it doesn't feel like it's something that should be done on purpose in terms of making some kind of statement. This looks like it could have been like a TV movie at times, and that's really disappointing, especially for somebody who really appreciates the visuals of the cinema. And seeing a film like this kind of just like, well, we're not going to really make this anything special in terms of that. And the pacing, I admit, can be a little slow, and it takes its times at moments and really pulls things through, and not in a super artistic way either. But in terms of an emotional impact, there are scenes where it's like you really feel it hitting you in terms of her interactions with this young man and the conversation she has with her husband. And there's particular scenes where it's just like it really hits you. And this does deal with some very to the point kind of issues of, because like it's very different watching this like situation, because I'm guessing things are very, very different in British courts than they are here, because I'm like, I wouldn't think that a lot of this stuff would be happening, and you can make these kinds of judgments over people. But for trying to understand the context of the film, this film deals with a lot of issues and who makes these calls, and should somebody be allowed to die if they really want to, or is it the greater good's job to make sure that they live and can make a benefit to society? And it's just like, holy crap, this deals with some very serious stuff. And then the ideas of relationships, and because right off the bat at the beginning of the film, the husband's like, I'm thinking about having an affair, do you even care? And that's very powerful. And those kinds of things that this film brings into and deals with are those kinds of relationship issues. And Ian McEwan, who apparently wrote the novel for this and who wrote the screenplay, really captures these three main characters in a very intriguing and interesting way. And especially Fiona, this judge, who's basically the center of this film. You follow her around, it's her story, and all of these other things happening that are affecting her and how she deals with it. And the story is unexpected. I didn't really see where this film was going, and that always makes me happy, because I don't want to have something that's super predictable and something that it's like easily chew on. I want something to really think about and have me intrigued and make me sit there paying attention and wanting to really find out what happens. And this film does that, and it's very deep and thematic. Stephen Warbeck does the score for this film. Having seen this on Wednesday, not really remembering the score very well. I don't remember it being like obnoxious or taking me out of the film, but something that's not going to really stick with you. And in terms of the cast, Emma Thompson blows, like, this is her film. and she's fantastic, and it's one of the best performances I've seen from her. She has some really, really emotional moments that she really gets to convey these wide range of emotions and feelings, and it really, really is conveyed perfectly by her. And Stanley Tucci does a really good job as her husband, Jack. He doesn't get a whole lot. He's a lot more level-headed, and Stanley Tucci can be known for like really chewing it up. He doesn't have to in this film and doesn't really get the opportunity to. And then Theon Whitehead, I hope I said that right, the young man from Dunkirk, is the young man in this film, and I feel like he does a nice job too. This film is not one of the top films of the year. It's not the most artfully created. It's not something that is super memorable. Like, this isn't like A Star is Born or Annihilation and stuff that really stood out to me this year, but I feel like this is a really well made film, really well acted. It's an intriguing film. If you really want to, and you're a big fan of Emma Thompson, enjoy these kinds of dramas, go check this out. Find this near you, and thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.